Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my second Q&A for this week, leading up to the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 8, Hearts Still Beating. In this one, the first question we're going to answer is, whose blood do we think it is on Negan? And yet, this video may contain spoilers if we're right, basically. If we're wrong, then no spoilers. But yeah, spoiler warning either way. If you don't want to know whose blood it might be, you don't want to hear our speculation, you don't want to see comments, then I suggest just go watch one of the other videos. Got lots of videos in the channel. You guys can check out the other ones. Did one last night, Q&A, and of course had the review posted. It's almost 20 minutes long. Predictions for what I think is going to happen in the mid-season finale. All kinds of great stuff in the channel. So if you guys haven't seen those yet, take a minute, check through, and watch some of them because I think you'll like them. So, we see in the promo video for the mid-season finale that Negan has some blood splatter on him. It doesn't seem like a tremendous amount. It seems like a little bit, but there's definitely some there. And there's kind of a part where he kind of walks out, he's kind of smiling and stuff. You can see cleanly shaven too, which is quite a bit different from what we're used to. I'm personally still not used to it yet. It just looks so different to me. And I wanted to see Negan, clean shaved for a while because it fits the comic book series version better. But after actually seeing it, I think maybe he looks more badass with the beard. I don't know. Beards are like that. They can make people look pretty badass. So this one came from Andy Guadalupe, who said the walker that Spencer found in the forest where it was hanging in the tree had its guts hanging out. Do you think this might be foreshadowing someone's death in the TV series? So yeah, spoiler warning. We're getting into spoilers now. Do you think it might be foreshadowing Spencer's death for the mid-season finale? This is a tricky one. Then we had another one I want to add in here too. Let's see. So, Man with the Plan SXE says, do you think it's way too obvious that Spencer will be killed next episode? I think they want us to think that, and then we'll kill somebody else to swerve the comic fans. So I want to include both of those for this one. All signs right now point to it being Spencer. Could they switch it to someone else and maybe have the guts thing happen? Because Rick and Aaron are kind of tied up right now, so they're not going to get back right away. They're going to try and get some supplies first on their run before they actually head back. So there's a bit of time here where Negan's going to be visiting. He's going to be, hanging out, this kind of deal. And, he may have a conversation with Spencer. He may have a conversation with Rosita. We know she has a bullet. Eugene's there as well, too. And you've got Michonne. She's out there in the mix as well. You've got Tara. You've got Olivia. All these characters kind of in the mix. So far as we know, Heath has not come back, so it looks like it wasn't the Saviors who took him. We'll do a video on that probably tomorrow or so. It's just there's a lot of characters in the mix right now in and around there. With the setup, especially with the Gabriel scene when he walks back, you are right that it's like they're making it too obvious for people to read the comics that it's probably going to be Spencer. For me, sometimes, like, for example, with Chris from Fear the Walking Dead, at the end of Season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, I actually thought it was too obvious that he would be killed off. So I figured maybe they wouldn't do that because it's too easy, right? But I think with a lot of the Andersons, too, and the Alexandrians, I think now is kind of the time, there's not many Alexandrian characters left right now. Spencer is one of the last ones there. You do have characters like Olivia, but granted, she's not really a fighter. She kind of more stays back and, she's used here and there, but most of the Alexandrians now are gone. Majority of them are gone. If you look at all the Monroes, if you look at the Andersons, if you look at just a lot of the primary characters from Alexandria that were there when Rick and the group got there, there's a couple still around, like you'll have Aaron in that, who will probably be one to kind of carry through in the story and survive on longer. But I think it's safe to say that one of our survivors is going to be killed off in the mid-season finale due to Negan. And I just feel like things are set up to be so easy that it'd be weird to me if it wasn't Spencer. So at this time, I'm like, I just think it is Spencer. I know that sometimes it seems like, that's too easy. They'd probably make it more complicated than that. They put so much effort into the show. But I feel like sometimes Kirkman, especially the last few years, I feel like sometimes he really wants to keep it, with at least the deaths closer. If you look at the season premiere, all the kind of trickery and all the stuff they did, but really who they killed off was Glenn, who was killed in the comics at that death, at that moment, and Abraham, who was who should have been killed off a little bit earlier. So he killed off really the same characters as was killed off in the comic. He just did so in a remixed way. With this, I feel like it's so similar that how could they not do it? So maybe you're right. Maybe I'll be shocked. Maybe a lot of us will be shocked, and it actually won't be Spencer who's killed off. But I think it probably will be, just like from the comics, because he's questioning Rick. He's starting to talk about mutiny. Gabriel doesn't want to hear it anymore. He gets out of the car and just ready to walk back. And it just seems like that's the case. I mean, could it be like somebody like Rosita tries to pull a gun on him or something, and something happens, and then Spencer kind of reacts or something? I don't know. We'll have to see. There's too many unknowns. There's too many unknowns here to kind of say, but it looks to me like it'll probably be Spencer. So write your comments below. Do you guys think Spencer's going to be killed off, or do you think it's going to be somebody else? I'll put the link in the description to my death predictions video that I did in depth, where we look at the comic book series version and that death, and we kind of analyze it with frame by frame with the comics. So you guys can check that out if you haven't seen my death predictions video yet for the mid-season finale. It's in the description. But great comments, and we'll see if there's some trickery involved here. It almost does seem too easy. I'll agree with you on that, man with a plan. It seems too it seems too straightforward for it to be that way. It's like, doesn't that have to be more complicated than that? But the Andersons were the same way. Very straightforward, and I would have thought that they would have remixed that, and they just didn't at all. So with the Alexandrias, I'm thinking it's going to be the same. Kyle Watches Stuff says, Trev, do you think it's going to come to a point where every episode of The Walking Dead will be extended? It feels like, at this point, a lot of the episodes in Season 7 will be extended. And you're right, Kyle. A lot of them have gone over. I actually think that they are struggling with the show this half season. I think they are. I think they brought in so many communities. They have so much stuff happening at once in this half. I feel like they actually did kind of get overwhelmed by all the new communities, all the characters, and how to manage that all, because they haven't really done that before in The Walking Dead. They haven't had a season like this where you have so many different locations, so many characters, and so many things happening. I think they actually have kind of bitten off more than they could chew with regards to maybe their budget, or maybe what's happening, just because you have all this different stuff happening and how they're going to put that in. So I think a lot of the time the episodes end up going over, and they might not even want them to, but they do, because of just all the footage they shoot and all the scenes they shoot end up being more minutes than they want them to be, and they don't want to cut certain stuff. So we'll see if this season has more deleted scenes than prior seasons. I wouldn't be surprised if it had a ton of deleted scenes, because it seems like a lot of the episodes are going like 6 minutes over, stuff like that. Like, why would an episode go 6 minutes over, or 8 minutes over, or stuff like this? It doesn't seem to make sense. And then you have like a couple that are 90 minutes, which I love to see. So really, even though The Walking Dead is supposed to be 16 episodes a season, with the extended episodes, it's like an episode and a half. So these last two are really the length of 3 episodes. So really, we're actually getting a little bit more than 16 episodes a year with Walking Dead. We're actually getting more like 17 or 18, depending on the season, which is great. This season will probably end up being like 18 episodes because of the extensions and everything we've had. A lot of extended episodes. So I'm happy with that. The more, the better. As long as it's good quality and everything, it's great. But maybe it should come to a point when they decide maybe we should plan for 18 episodes and do that instead. With all the characters and all the locations, maybe it'd be worth it for them, to go to 18 and then maybe not do so many extended. I'm not sure, but I really think, and I think you guys can see it too, if you look at everything crammed into this episode, I think you can see that maybe they're having a little bit of trouble managing everything with all the different communities, Negan, and everything that's been going on. So this season, just maybe they overfilmed a little bit, or they planned a lot of stuff and they couldn't condense it enough into the time frame for some of the episodes. Kellen Fairbanks says, hey Trev, you got enough guts to watch this mid-season finale? I do have enough guts, my friend. Well played. I like that. I want to include that. That's good. Joe, the hobo, I like that name too, says, no matter what world you live in, there are a few things guaranteed. Death and taxes. Absolutely, man. That's true. What's that? Is that from? Is that from Game of Thrones? I forget where that quote is from. Death and taxes. Yeah. Swag Cactus says, Q&A Trev, Daryl whispered to Carl when he was leaving the room with the wives. What did he whisper? I checked. I watched it back again on the recording. Get away is what he said. So it's kind of like a warning. Daryl's kind of telling him, like, get out of here. What are you doing here? That kind of thing. So nothing too cryptic there. And then Turnip says, and I guess let's see. Okay, one more after this one. He says, do you like shaved Negan? So do you like the way shaved Negan looks? I actually don't. I thought I would. And I'm like, man, I can't wait until he looks more like the comic book series version if he shaves. But I almost feel like he still doesn't look like the comic book series version, even though he's shaved. I mean, it depends. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm still getting used to it because he certainly looks a lot different. But I thought he looked more the part with the beard, actually. Like, in terms of the Savior's leader, like a badass leader who's a scary dude. I felt like he did, but we haven't seen him really like smile, like a really menacing smile yet. So we'll see if we get a really menacing smile with him soon without the beard and how that looks. I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of looked a little bit more scary. So we'll see. But so far, I actually like the beard Negan better for some reason. I don't know why. The Walking Dead says, I could not help laughing at how funny Negan was tonight. Holy crap, he is awesome, swinging the bat in the background. Wow, he's a master. That was really funny. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a lot of comic book moments this episode that a lot of us have been waiting for a really long time. And I feel like this episode really nailed it for us. It's just kind of a shame for me that they put it at number 7 in the first half. I feel like to pace the season out better, some of this stuff maybe should have been in like episode 5, you know, or something like that, or 4, just to kind of pay, like just to kind of spread it better, because it felt like it was, it just felt a little weird to me. You know, I'm not sure why. It just did. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's hard to say because obviously they got so much stuff going on, but it was great to see a lot of those iconic comic book moments, and it was really funny. The last one will be from Ryan Respect. He says, hey, Trev, do you think that Season 8 will have more of these types of episodes, 707, after hearing about the feedback on the bottle episodes we've been getting for a while? This episode should be a wake-up call that this formula is the way to go. Even the slower episodes can have multiple things going on at once. Keep up the videos, man. So thanks, Riot. You're awesome, brother. Thanks for all your support. And the rest of you guys, too, The Walking Dead and Cactus and everybody. Sweat Cactus, yeah. So, yeah, I felt like even though this one was a little bit disjointed, which is where they're probably worried that an episode might feel kind of some of the way this episode felt, where you have a lot of different stuff happening and they cut it all over the place. You have like Michonne, she's in one spot, in one point of view. You've got like Spencer, he's in another. You've got Negan, you've got Rick and Aaron, you've got like Carl, you've got like Daryl, you've got all the Jesus, you got all this stuff going on. Alexandria, the Sanctuary, Mark and Sherry and everybody. It's kind of crazy, and you can see how they could be worried about losing viewers because they're showing so much stuff in so many different spots that casual viewers are like, overload, kaboom, I don't know what's going on. I can't watch this or something. But personally, I like it better. I just think maybe they have to kind of spread it out better and, handle a little bit better. The bottle episodes, some of them were okay. Some of them, like the Tara and Heath episode, it was like, do we really need to see all that? I don't know. And I guess for an episode, it gets you through her story all the way. So sometimes it's okay. But I would say generally, I think this episode felt a lot better. Even though it had a lot of stuff happening, it was a little hard to follow. I still think it was a much better episode than some of the other ones we've had. And not just because you had a lot of really funny lines with Negan in that. It felt like more Walking Dead to get to see all these different characters. You know, it felt like if you just got to see Tara and Heath, is it really Walking Dead? If you just get to see the Hilltop, is it really Walking Dead? You know, I don't know, man. It's I personally just like this a lot better if they cut it. Even though it's a little crazy sometimes to keep up with everything. I still personally like it a lot better when they cut it like that. And if they have to do that going forward, then I think it's better because the bottle episodes, to be honest, a lot of people complained quite a bit. So, that'll be it for this video today, guys. Check out the videos. I'll post another one right here so you guys can check it out in the video. You can click on that if you want to see another from the last couple days. And if you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left to subscribe. One more awesome episode left for this half, guys. It's an extended one. Can't wait for the mid-season finale. Send me all your questions for this week. That's it for this video, guys. See you soon. Tomorrow it's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.
You better subscribe.